All right, my first grade friends, welcome back to Phonics. Like I said in the last video, make sure that you have your phonics paper. It's these long ones. They should already be folded in half. We are on this new side left over from yesterday. Of course, you are sitting up nice and straight. Of course, your stomach is touching your table. Your back is touching your back. The back of your chair is touching your back. You're all tucked in like a sandwich. Of course, we have a pencil. I've seen a few kids using marker lately or pen. We use a pencil. That way we can erase or cross out. And of course, you're always holding your paper. Our first sound, my friends, is E. Say it with me. E. It's two letters and they only have one sound. They say E. Go ahead and write it. E. These are our friends. E. E. Our friends E. Making sure that your E's are nice and fat and they're touching the dotted line and the baseline. E. Look at the point on my E. It's nice and pointy. The E says E. E says E. Say it with me. E says E. All right, my friends, if you are not at the end of the line, go ahead and push pause now. Our next sound is ooh. Say it with me. Ooh. Go ahead and write it. Ooh. This is our letters. O. Starting at 2 o'clock, around the clock, stopping at 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock, around the clock, stopping at 2 o'clock. Ooh. Ooh. Say it with me. Ooh. 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 Look at how all my O's are touching the dotted line and all my O's are touching the baseline. Double check that all of your O's are nice and fat, and if they're not, then erase them and try again. If you're not at the end of the line, go ahead and push pause. No big deal. Our next sound is A. Say it with me. A. Go ahead and write it. A. You should be thinking, but Miss Grakowski, which A are we doing? Please do the A that does not get used at the end of a word. It's used in the middle. Oh, that is A-I. A-I. Making sure my A is nice and fat with a tiny tail, and it's got a tiny tent. My I starts at the dotted line, pulling straight down with a tiny dot. And I say A-I says A. A-I says A. A. Used in the middle of a word. A. Used in the middle of a word. All right, if you are not at the end of the line yet, no big deal. Go ahead and push pause. My next sound is ed, d, t. Say it with me. Ed, d, t. Go ahead and write it. Ed, d, t. All right, this is my ED. Straight across, E. Starting at 2, around the clock, up to the top line, down to the baseline. E-D. Making sure my D is a big clock letter. Then I go up and down. It looks like my O and my A. Make sure it's not skinny. It's nice and fat. E-D says ed, d, t. Say it with me. Ed, d, t. Ed, d, t. Ed, d, t. All right, my friends, if you are not at the end of the line yet, go ahead and push pause. If you are at the end of the line, my next sound is A. Say it with me. A. Go ahead and write it. Oh, it used the A that is used at the end of a word. Which A is used at the end of a word? That is my AY. So, starting at 2 o'clock, around the clock, up to 2, down to the baseline. So I have a tiny tent. My Y, starting at the dotted line, pull diagonally down to the baseline, pick up your pencil, dotted line through the baseline, down to the next line. AY says A. AY says A. And this is the A that is used at the end of a word or syllable. If you are not to the end of the line yet, go ahead and push pause. If you are at the end of the line, our next sound is E, A. Say it with me. E, A. Go ahead and write it. E, A. E, A. This is my letters E, A. It's the E-A. E, make sure it's nice and fat. There's my point. A, starting at 2 o'clock, around the clock, up to 2, down to the baseline, tiny tent. Say it with me. E, A. E, A. E, A. E, A. All right. If you are not to the end of the line yet, don't worry. Go ahead and push pause. If you are at the end of the line, our final sound is E-I. Say it with me. E-I. Go ahead and write it. E-I. That is our I-E. Remember, it's kind of backwards. E-I. E-I. Making sure both of these letters are short so they're touching the dotted line and the baseline. E-I. I-E says E-I. All right, my friends, those are all of our sounds. So we are on to our spelling words. If you're not done with your IEs that say E-I, go ahead and pause the video. The spelling words that we're going to write today have the sound E-A. Say it with me. E-A. Do you know what sound that is? Or what letters? That is my E-A. It says E-A. So the first word that we're going to write today is the word beak. I know, because I do science, that all birds, all different types of birds, have a different type of beak. We learned all about bird beaks in science. So let's sound out the word beak. B. E. K. Now let's look at this. B. The E that we're going to use the two letters that say E-A, and it's the first sound, the E sound. B. E, and then use the letter that says K only. K only. So we have B, E, use E-A, and use K. Go ahead and write it, and I'll sound it out for you again. B, E, use E-A, and use K. If you are still writing, go ahead and push pause. Because here comes the answer. B. That is a B. Nice big clock letter. Give it a tuck. E. I said use E-A. E. And that's the first sound of E-A. And K. I said use the letter that says K. It's not a C because a C would say K. S. A K only says K. Making sure your K is tall, but the arm and leg are short. Beak. If you wrote B-E-A-K, give yourself a star or a smiley face. If not, go ahead and write the word beak now. All right, friends, our next spelling word that we are going to write is the word seat. Please sit down in your seat. Let's sound it. Fist up. S-E-T. Here we go. Use S. Use the letter that says S. What letter says S? Then we have E. Use the two letters that say E-A. And the last sound is T. T. So we have S. E. Here we go. Go ahead and write it, and I will tell you how to spell it. Write S. E. Use the E-A. And T. All right, my friends, go ahead and pause if you're still writing because I'm about to share the answer. Here we go. We start with S. Making sure my S is all in between the dotted line and the baseline. E. I said use E-A. And T. Remember, T's tall with that tiny crossbar on the dotted line. If you wrote S-E-A-T, give yourself a star or a smiley face. If not, go ahead and write it now, and we will practice it more later. All right, my phonics friends. Make sure you take a picture of this phonics paper and upload it on your Seesaw, and I will see you next time.